Imagine screaming at federal agents because they're arresting a man they say is a convicted predator, and your first instinct is to protect him and attack the people taking him off the streets. That's where we at, y'all. And today we're going to walk through the gas stations, high schools, city halls, and courtrooms and show you exactly who's being shielded and who's being sacrificed.
Property. You guys are on private property. Private property. Private property. You know what that means? You guys are here illegally.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we'll get out of your illegally area then.
Yes, please.
Ma'am, these guys fled and they crashed into our vehicles.
Because you guys were trying to illegally detain them. Illegally. Kidnapping people on their way to work.
Sounds good to me.
Yeah, it is. You guys, sin vergüenzos tiene. Sin vergüenzos. You should be embarrassed of yourself.
Oh, I'm so embarrassed.
You should be.
I'm so embarrassed.
You should be. This is ICE wearing a police vehicle or police jacket. ICE. Where they said that they would not be with police.
I'm so embarrassed.
You should be embarrassed. You guys are breaking up families.
I prefer nice.
Nah?
He's a pedophile, ma'am.
He's not a pedophile. You don't even know his name.
Do you?
Do you?
Do you?
Do you know his name?
Do you know his name?
Why'd you arrest his friend if he's the pedophile? Huh? Why'd you take his friend? He already said because he's illegal. Here's another vehicle. Another vehicle. Another vehicle. Here's another vehicle. Said that they would not be wearing police vests, and they obviously are. Thank you. Thank you. And you? Are you Hispanic? Where covering your face, arresting people?
Yeah.
I want all the vehicles out of here. Everything, gone. Don't come back here. Don't come back here.
You told them.
Thank you.
You can suck a big one. No. You guys are without families, without hearts, without care. Federal agents, police, ICE, wearing police vests. These kids just going to work. Going to work.
Hey, he rammed our car, man.
You blocked him in and freaking beating on his window. I watched it. See, there's a camera right there. Right there. Everything's on video. Huh? You assaulted him. Yeah. You were busting his window before he tried to flee for his life? Whatever. Leave my property. Don't come back.
ICE chases two men into a gas station. The agent says one is a convicted pedo. The clerk does not care. She screams about private property and breaking up families. But notice what's missing. Zero concern for the kids she may have hurt. Zero interest in the facts. Just automatic defense for anyone ICE wants to arrest. That's the new religion. Feelings over vows. Immigration status over child safety. Let's look at a case where the paperwork is not in doubt.
Dramatic video showing U.S. Immigration and Customs Enforcement agents arresting convicted sex offender 21-year-old Ander Cortez Mendez in Falls Church, Virginia on April 2nd. U.S. border agents arrested Cortez Mendez after they say he illegally entered the U.S. near the Rio Grande Valley in Texas in 2018, ICE saying he was supposed to appear before an immigration judge but didn't show up to court. According to ICE, he was arrested in Fairfax County for an alleged sex crime last year in March. agents issued a detainer against Cortez Mendez with the Fairfax County Adult Detention Center. And then on May 20th of last year, a Fairfax County judge gave him a 3-month suspended sentence after he was found guilty of having sex with the child. Despite being found guilty, ICE says Fairfax County officials did not honor ICE's detainer and released Cortez Mendez back into the community in Northern Virginia. And then last Wednesday, that is when the ICE agents arrested him on the street. Tonight, ICE releasing a statement that says, in part, Ander Cortez Mendez is a convicted sex offender and exactly the type of illegal alien that ICE officers seek to remove from Washington, D.C. and Virginia. We refuse to allow such offenders to continue to threaten the residents of our neighborhoods.
Ander Cortez Mendez, convicted sex offender. Border Patrol caught him sneaking in. He skips immigration court. Later, he is convicted for a sex crime with a child. ICE files the detainer. Fairfax County ignores it. They give him a light sentence and put him back into the community. ICE has to go get him again. This is what sanctuary really means. No warm vibes. It means a child predator got a second chance at your neighborhood. While activists scream racist at ICE, the only people actually cleaning this up are the ones in the green and blue uniforms. Now, watch how politicians try to change the subject from what people do to the words you use.
So it's come to our attention through our cultural sources, Mr. Mayor, that you're supposed to have filed a report on spending on illegal aliens in Chicago with the White House by now. What's happening with that, or what has happened with that?
We don't have illegal aliens.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's from some sort of sci-fi message that you wish have had. Well, listen, the legal term for my people were slaves. You want me to use that term too? So look, let's just get the language right. We're talking about undocumented individuals that are human beings. The last thing that I'm going to do is accept the type of racist, nasty language to describe human beings. And so as far as our spending on Chicagoans, I've put forth a $16.7 billion balanced budget that ensures that we're investing in education, transportation, housing, youth employment, environmental justice, as well as ensuring that we have safe communities. And we are going to challenge the ultra wealthy to pay their fair share. He's more than happy to look at that budget.
Let me just, excuse me, let me just say something here. It is very important that people in Illinois and across the country understand the immigration system is a civil system. Undocumented presence in the United States is not a criminal offense. And so thank you for the clarification on language.
So in Congress, they asked Chicago's Mayor Brandon Johnson about spending on illegal aliens. He doesn't talk about the results at all. He attacks the term. He compares it to calling Black Americans slaves in the law books. He says we have to say undocumented individuals instead. The backup guy jumps in to remind everybody that it is a civil violation, right? Not a criminal one. That is the play. Don't talk about crime. Don't talk about cost. Argue about vocabulary. If you could turn illegal alien into a slur, you never have to explain your budget or your crime stats. Meanwhile, real families are making hard choices.
Well, 2 weeks ago, life for one Pasadena woman was changed forever. Her family is undocumented, and on the morning of October 27th, ICE agents came for her husband and her brother.
KPRC2 was in the neighborhood soon after they were taken into custody, and actually during the raid, those men have since been deported to Mexico, leaving behind their family who's struggling to make it all work now, and making plans, in fact, to leave everything behind to reunite with them. KPRC2's Bill Barajas is live with their story. Good evening, Bill.
Yeah, this is a family who came here illegally about 12 years ago to chase the American dream. They were living out that dream at that small home just behind me where you see that black Tahoe at the intersection of Dade and West Houston in Pasadena. And then in an instant, everything changed. Margarita Barron's husband and brother were both deported within a week of being picked up by ICE. A family member telling us today at the property when we visited that Barron was at the Mexican consulate's office today trying to figure out how she may be reunited. They are also looking into how they might be able to sell all of the possessions that they've been able to accumulate while in this country as they look to return to their home state of San Luis Potosí. They tell us their lives were turned upside down the moment ICE showed up at their door. We were with them in October as they tried to process everything. Video we obtained shows ICE agents arriving at their home, allegedly demanding that Barron's husband and brother surrender. Barron said they initially refused, but ICE told them they had no choice. Here she is speaking about it just hours after it happened back in October. They say if they didn't turn themselves in, they would throw tear gas inside the home. Eventually, the men came out and were met by federal agents who were waiting to cuff them and take them away. The family struggling to survive since, but have been able to get by thanks to neighbors and strangers who tried to donate what they can. We reached out to an ICE spokesman to get more information about what happened. They said it was a targeted vehicle stop on Barron's brother, who illegally entered the U.S. 3 times, which is a felony.
Like
Barron's
I've seen
situation has become a reality for many local families. The Harris County Jail, by the way, leading the country in ICE detainers' request to hold a person for deportation. That information coming from our partners at the Texas Tribune. We're live in Pasadena. Bill Barajas, KPRC 2 News.
Like I've heard about this story. You know, we've covered a lot of ICE on this channel. And again, if there's a clip for a moment or a possibility of it, I will admit it. I will say this, though. A family that divorced together, stay together. In Pasadena, ICE detains the husband. Local news shows the wife crying and packing. She decides to self-deport with her U.S.-born child. People say it's cruel. In reality, that is what happens when you build a life on a status you know is shaky. And you should take the opportunity. Because when the law finally shows up, you decide, fight the country you live in or leave and come back the right way if you get that option. Because I'm telling you, she got the option. The law showed up and still gave her that option. Usually you don't. But Kim points out the part the media skips. Targeting the main provider makes the whole family choose to leave. That saves DHS money and sends a clear message to everyone watching. You either enforce the law or you keep pretending feelings are a policy. And when judges try to block enforcement, listen to what this Border Patrol chief says.
What's important here to realize is that Border Patrol agents, ICE agents, and those allied law enforcement teams risked their lives to apprehend those 650 illegal aliens that judge wants to release on the streets. Those illegal aliens came from a myriad of situations, whether they were criminals or individuals that were taking jobs from Americans. You name it, that's what they were doing. And I'll tell you what's going to happen is we're going to go even harder on the streets. If he releases those 650, we're going to apprehend 1,650 on the streets of Chicago. What's important here to realize is that
he ain't playing. A judge wants hundreds of detainees released, but Border Patrol Chief Bavino reminds everyone that agents risk their lives to arrest those 650 people. Then he says if the judge lets them out, then they're going to hit the streets even harder. Grab 1,650. This is exactly the mindset you need. If the bench tries to undo enforcement, you do not vote. You double it. Because every time the judge frees a load of people ICE just called, the message to the world is simple. Keep coming. The paperwork will save you. And while this is happening in Chicago, I want y'all to look at what's going on in New York.
There's been an increase in ICE sightings across Long Island. That is what's happening, according to the founder of Islip Forward. News 12's Cecilia Dowd reports.
Another Long Island high school student has been taken into ICE custody. News 12 has learned that a second Roosevelt High School student has been detained by the agency.
We are seeing an uptick like we've never seen before.
For months, ICE agents have been spotted across Long Island. And Ahmad Perez, founder of Islip Forward, says the activity is happening more and more frequently.
We have now documented again ICE activity every single day of November on Long Island. And this is the first time where we have had that type of daily pattern multiple times a day. in vulnerable immigrant communities.
Perez and a group of volunteers track ICE enforcement activity on the island. He says once alerted to enforcement, they work to verify it's legitimate. And they keep count. So far, 222 verified sightings on Long Island this year.
We are seeing folks literally hide in their homes, and that's not an exaggeration.
Perez said everyone can agree that they want criminals off the streets, but
what we are seeing now is the opposite. We're seeing innocent families separated. We're seeing folks with no criminal records taken from their homes and places of business, schools.
And the Roosevelt superintendent says they're hopeful that the Roosevelt student will be given the opportunity to complete his high school education. Cecilia Dowd, News 12.
On Long Island, you have a nice tracker app. Activists bragging about 222 sightings and protests because of an 18-year-old undocumented senior who got detained. They frame it as innocent families being separated, right? And no criminal records. They never ask why ICE is, in that community every single day or what else is on those files. Nobody builds an app to track the kids abused by people who should have been deported. Nobody counts the victims. They only count the enforcement. So when JD Vance connects this to housing and the bigger picture, it actually makes a lot of sense.
I know that there are a lot of people out there, Sean, who are saying things are expensive. And we have to remember they're expensive because we inherited this terrible inflation crisis from the Biden administration. But you've already seen signs that things are getting better. The price of eggs has gone way down. The price of energy has gone way down. The price of gasoline has gone way down. And as we know, when the price of energy goes down, that starts to filter out into the entire economy. But that also takes a little bit of time. There's another component of this, Sean, which to me is maybe the most important because I care so much about our young people being able to afford a good life. A lot of young people are saying housing is way too expensive. Why is that? Because we flooded the country with 30 million illegal immigrants who were taking houses that ought by right go to American citizens. And at the same time, we weren't building enough new houses to begin with, even for the population that we had. So what we're doing is trying to make it easier to build houses, trying to make it easier to build factories and things like that so that people have good jobs. We're also getting all of those illegal aliens out of our country, and you're already seeing it start to pay some dividends.
JD Vance says the quiet part out loud. Prices on gas and eggs can fall. Young people still can't afford a place to live. He points out two things at once. Millions of illegal immigrants putting extra pressure on housing and the government that refuse to build enough homes for the people already here. So the plan is simple. Make it easier to build, make it easier to work, remove the people who cut the line and broke in. That's not cruelty. That's how a serious country survives. When you lay these clips side by side, a pattern pops out, right? You got clerks and activists who would fight harder for strangers they don't know rather than for the kids those strangers might have hurt. Sanctuary countries freeing predators and blaming ICE for cleaning it up. Mayors arguing about nouns and all that while their cities are down and drowning. Judges try to undo entire operations from the bench. And when somebody finally says, deport, build, and protect America first, they call that extreme. It is not extreme to want your kids to be safe. It is not extreme to want rent to come down. It is not extreme to ask why a child predator was walking free in the first place. So, if you made it to the end of this video, I want you to write, deport together. I mean, because that's what the family should do. Deport together, man. You deport together, you stay together. Y'all be safe. Go check on a friend today. You can quite literally be saving their life. Peace.